Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here. Another sunny weekend in Koh Phangan, Thailand. I hope everybody is enjoying the weekend. In this video, I will go over my top stocks to watch for the coming week. So, please hit the like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's see the charts. ADBE, Adobe, we can see finally breaking up above and closing above the 345 on Friday, going all the way now, expecting 367 gap to get filled. Once it gets filled, high probability we will get some kind of a pullback, maybe back to this area of the 356 to retest it as support, and then next leg up. We still have time on earnings for Adobe until Thursday of March 16. Dash, if you are following me on Twitter, you saw that I've posted this name several days ago, waited for a break above this orange trend line. Now we got this breaking up, and we can go long, managing the risk according to the levels, to the upside and to the downside. And of course, everything you see and hear on this video or on any other video on my channel is for educational purposes only. Always do your own due diligence. Never follow blindly anyone on social media, paid or free services. eBay, back on the list. Close watch for a break up and above the 47 area. Only by looking left, we can clearly see 47 area is a very interesting area of support, resistance, and now once again resistance. So breaking up and above the 47, going long, using the levels to the upside and to the downside to manage our risk. And by managing risk, I mean, where do you put your stop loss, where do you enter, and how much are you willing to lose on each and every trade. That's it. As traders, all we have control of is risk management, nothing more, nothing less. FedEx is next. FDX, we can see that this trend line, this yellow trend line, is holding as a strong resistance for price action for the higher highs. Each and every time price reached this area, it got rejected. Now I'm waiting for a bounce back, and maybe this time together with this orange trend line and this gap, we have a very strong area of resistance. The 202 is a very strong area of resistance. I'm waiting for a break and continuation above this trend line, and maybe then we'll get the 215 and the 232, but one candle at a time, looking left and managing risk. FL is next. Now let's see if we can get a bounce, because we got here a slight downtrend. Doji off the 37 area, looking left. 37 and the 36 area are a very important support levels. Now a doji might signal a trend reversal, and if it does above the 38.50, we will go long, expecting also a break above the 40. Look left, 40 area, very strong resistance for price. So if it will go above the 38.50, we'll go long, managing risk according to the levels, expecting a tough resistance over the 40. But if it will go over 40, we can expect 42 and 45 to the upside. Google finally breaking above this long-term trend line with a gap to the upside. So we need to consider two things. First, we need to consider this gap here and we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time. The sooner the better. And if we look left, we can see that during August of 2022, Google tried to break above this trend line and went back down. So I would wait for another day or two to the upside and maybe even wait for a break above the 102, 103 because it is a very strong resistance for price action. Don't trade FOMO, trade the chart. Follow price and use levels to manage risk. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is it. It's not rocket science. This is only candlestick analysis. It's a tough job, but if you put your work into it, you can do it by yourself, educate yourself, and become your own indicator. Check the links in the description below and check the how-to playlist. I have several videos that I hope and I'm sure you will find some points on how to become a better trader each and every day that goes by. HD, Home Depot with earnings. We have time, about a month or so till earnings. Now I'm expecting a bounce above this trend line, a bounce from this trend line because it's already above it, bounce above the 315 and maybe closing this gap here. And if we will get some bullish sentiment in the market, we can expect HD to go back, retesting this yellow trend line. This yellow trend line goes all the way back to April and August 22 and December 22. So if bullish sentiment in the overall market, we can expect the next resistance, the tough one, will be this yellow trend line, but breaking below this orange trend line, we do have here this gap that will get closed. So never be biased, always prepare for both sides. LAC, very strong downtrend, bouncing off the 1750 together with this trend line that holds the lower lows. Now let's see if we can get a continuation above the 2140, then we can go long and managing risk according to the levels, or there is another scenario we need to prepare for, which is a double bottom scenario. So prepare for both scenarios. Never be biased. MU is next. Double bottom of the 48 area now. Price is once again struggling with this orange trend line. I'm looking for continuation to the upside in another day or two above the 57, 58 area. Once it will validate the bounce, we will go long. SMH, back on close watch, back to the 230 area. We can see that the 230 area is a very strong resistance for price. It was very tough, very important support. Now, since November, it's a very tough one for the bulls. So let's see if bulls have enough power in their hands to break up and above. Once they do, we can go long, taking Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and we have the levels to the upside and to the downside to manage the risk. Snow, a new name that came up on my search during the weekend. I go over around 500 names to look for the best A+ setup for the coming week. I also have a video on my process on how I do it each and every week. Check it out. It's on the how-to playlist. Snow, trend line that started over November 2021, and each and every time price reached to the penny, you can say, it got rejected, and now bouncing up and down between the 136 to the 147. with this trend line, price range is getting tighter and tighter. I'm waiting for a break up and above, and a day or 2 or 3 days closing above this red trend line, and then we can go long, managing risk according to the levels. SQ, we can see this low here, a higher low here, and now 76 is a tough one for the bulls, long above it. Let's see if we can get some kind of a bull run before earnings on Wednesday, February 22. We have the levels to the upside, and with high probability above the 76, the next major resistance for SQ will be the 89.90 area. UPST also on my watch list, close watch. Same as snow. Also here we have this red trend line. Now I'm waiting for a break up and above this trend line, and together with a break above the 1860 area, we can see 1860 is a very important level for price action. We can see price action traveled, hovered above and below this area during November and December of 22. So above 1860 we can go long. Walmart, WMT, trend line helps us to identify the higher lows. Now we have this pullback from the 154 back to the 140. Together with this trend line, the 140 was an important support during the October-November. Price back to this area together with this trend line, some kind of a doji. I'm expecting a bounce and long above the 143 for me. And of course, again, everything is for educational purposes only. Always do your own due diligence. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please hit the like and subscribe, and let me know what are stocks that you are going to watch for next week. I will check them and will include them on my next video or on my Twitter. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until the next video, stay safe.